You remember when you were a kid, say Christmas time, or maybe even as an adult now, you have that sense of anticipation that you're about to rip open all those packages under the tree and something phenomenal is going to pop out of there. It's going to be that thing that you've been waiting for forever, that thing that you really just wanted to have, even though it's not a major deal to anybody else. It's not like you're, getting a massive vacation around the world or, buying a yacht. It's something new and it's for you and it's exciting and you want to tell the whole world about it and you're not sure that anybody else is going to care except those who care about you and they're really excited for you. Well, I have that kind of announcement to talk to you about today. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast, and we've been working on this content, this Leading Leaders Podcast, now in the 7th season. We started mid-2015, and then we've been continually working on it. So as the program has progressed, we have progressed with technology. We now do a 3-camera shoot, like hi, and hi, and hi, and yes, I still do all of that live myself. That's why if you see me look down just before I transition, I'm just making sure my finger's on the right camera button. We also do our own lower thirds and live switcher production. If I had a free camera, I would bring it over here and show you everything. And the truth is, you don't care. In fact, if you watch Leading Leaders Podcast for the leadership aspect of it, you're probably in another country and you don't care about anything except whether or not today's message is relevant to you. And that's part of the point of my announcement today. See, there was a time when I would do this live video on Facebook, early 2015, 2016, that I was doing Facebook Live with nothing but a phone on a tripod on the other side of this table. And that video would finish the live portion with 350 or so views. And then I said some things that were offensive to our host Facebook, and I got put in Facebook jail 5, 6, 7 times in the course of 1 year because I was doing this crazy thing like reading out of the Bible. And so suddenly all of our views went from the triple digits to the double digits. And right now we have days where one video will have 75 to 100 views over the course of a 24-hour period. But we also have some videos, and it seems sometimes like it's that transcript of the live video that causes the problem because there are certain words that I say, and I will have 14 comments on a video that has 4 views. Now, I don't know how 14 different people would like or engage or comment on a video they hadn't watched. But that seems to be the case with some of my videos. Also, YouTube has had a very similar result. At one point, we were monetized. We were receiving, small royalty checks from the number of views and ads, and then suddenly the algorithm changed and we went from over 1,000 subscribers to less than 100. And we have been very slow to build back up. In fact, I know it to be true that if you search for my name on YouTube, my videos are still hard to find. Even though my channel is named after me, the name of my channel is my name. If you search my name, it's really hard to find the videos that I produce. There are well over 1,000 videos on YouTube. Now, the content that we produce really comes in 3 different categories. 4, maybe. The first is Leading Leaders Podcasts, what you're watching now. Second, we do a round of interviews under the Leading Leaders Podcast that we call the Servant Leaders Series. There were about a dozen of those that we did right here in the studio, and we sat down with people who were leaders in their industry, and we talked to them about how they got to where they are and what they've done and who they are. And those videos have been uploaded to those same social media platforms. And that's about the extent of it. Again, some of them, like the interview with Keenan Williams from No House to the White House, has several hundred views. But none of them have reached in the thousands. Michael Kislak from the Dallas Cowboys, his video has a couple hundred views. It used to be that we would take those videos and put them on Facebook and advertise and spread them around the world. until Facebook's algorithm changed about what you can promote. So even if you're only boosting it for $5, if you say anything that might be possibly controversial when it comes to politics or ideologies, you get the little notification that I got that said the content of your video could sway the way people think, and therefore it is not allowed to be distributed globally. Oh, why else would I do a leadership video if not to sway the way people think? So another series that we do is called Story Power TV, and Story Power TV simply acknowledges the reality that every human has a story, a life story, kind of like the Marvel Comics, an origin story and a transition story and a how did we get to where we are story. And sometimes the story that the individual tells of themselves, their own life experience, is different than the narrative that you might hear otherwise. And then we have Transforming Grace TV, which is where my wife and I talk to other couples who have also had some of the same struggles that we've had. Now, 2 weeks from this week, my wife and I will celebrate our 27th wedding anniversary together. And I put my family through hell in the first 10 years because I was an idiot. But for the last 17 years, we have constantly worked not only to better ourselves, but to offer advice to those who might say, we seem to be having the same kind of struggles you had early on. Can you help us? And we graciously, gratefully, very happily do so. So that's some of the other content that we do. So Story Power TV, Leading Leaders Podcast, and the subsequent parts of that, and Transforming Grace TV. Those are the pieces that we create content-wise under the umbrella of Tell It Like It Is TV. And up until this week, the massive amount of distribution we've had has always been dependent on whether or not we have favor with social media. Well, recently, another opportunity has come online. Another opportunity for content like-minded with ours, with people who think like us, who live like us, who believe like us. And we received a referral from another content provider to submit our content to this platform. Now, I'm not going to tell you yet who it is, only because this is the first platform we've been invited to be a part of that we don't pay to be a part of. In fact, part of the revenue that will compensate us for all the creative expenses of creating content, the cameras and lights and microphones and the talents that we have to bring in and the people that we interview and the places that we go to gather those interviews, those are expensive. And up to this point, we've had zero way of monetizing those except out of our own pocket. It's sometimes the light bill or the camera lens that we broke. It's sometimes duct tape that tripod for another month, because if we don't, then we're not going to get the car fixed. That's just reality of where we are. This platform actually offers a subscription-based royalty so that when we encourage people to join us on that platform to follow our content, we actually have a very small opportunity to make back what we've invested. That opportunity is a brand new opportunity for us. And while to you watching on Facebook right now, it may not matter at all, I want you to know that there is content that I simply cannot share here on Facebook. Conversations that Facebook would not tolerate. Conversations that both Facebook and YouTube and maybe even Twitter have looked at the transcript of even what I'm saying right now and said, yeah, we know it's out there, and if you're really looking for it and you go to his page, you might find it, but we're not going to stream it live. In fact, I've received notifications telling me that they refuse to stream my live video because it contains some copyrighted music. But the minute that I rebutted that and said, the music's not copyrighted, I bought the royalty rights to it myself, they say, oh, sorry, never mind, we were kidding. But the content's still near impossible to find, and it certainly wasn't available while it was live. This new opportunity goes around all of that. So we will be heavily promoting this new place, this new destination for our video. But I'm going to hold off on it just for a minute until the contract is signed and everything is in place, because our opportunity for revenue sits on the other side of you subscribing to watch it. So if I tell you where to go right now and you go and sign up, we have no share in that subscription. We get no royalties. The price is the same to you whether you sign up through my page or through somebody else's. But it makes a huge difference for us to have you follow us or follow the entire network because of your relationship to us. So I'm going to ask that you just pray with us and be grateful with us. Now, let me add one other piece to that. We were intended to be on the border this weekend. We were going to be there for a big conference. We were going to interview some of the members and participants of the conference, as well as some people who have become Americans, not born here, but become Americans, and then raised phenomenally well adjusted, well invested, extremely productive members of our society. The absolute cream of the crop of humans. And I love the way the distinction is made that we're not calling people illegal immigrants. We're saying that they've utilized the process, some of them, illegally. While there are other people like this family that we intend to interview for this new network launch, this is a group of people that if we said all immigrants who come to the U.S. from any country follow this model, and we'll take everyone who can fit, because these are the kind of people, the quality of people that we want to see here. Now, I know those people. I have friends who have just received their naturalization from other countries like the Congo and Afghanistan to be Americans. And they are some of the proudest Americans I've ever known. Contributors to society. People who invest in other people. That's what Story Power TV is all about. And we are looking for another place for this weekend to go and film those kind of interviews and meet with people and be a part of a big event. This particular one on the border had to be postponed. We are rescheduling. We're working with the people to reschedule that right now. And we are determined to pull that off. And I think it's going to be a phenomenal interview and a phenomenal opportunity and a phenomenal event. So, the big announcement, we are being picked up by a network for Leading Leaders Podcast, Transforming Grace TV, and Story Power TV. And that content will soon be available in places other than the social media places that don't like us to be there. I can't explain it any better than that. But as soon as our subscription page is up, you will get a notification in email if you're a subscriber, and right here on our Facebook, and we will make the link available and we'll advertise it on our vehicles, because we want everyone to know there's a chance to be seen and to be heard in a place where your conservative ideas are not squelched. I want you to follow us there. I want you to be a part of it. I want you to subscribe. I want you to get every piece of content that we create. And I invite you, if you have a story to tell that is life impacting, transformative, advisory, cautionary, please reach out to us. I'd love to have you on Story Power TV. I'd love to sit down and do an interview. I'd love to bring the cameras to your event, to your place, to your, I don't care if it's a trade show or a bike rally or a church rally. We would love to come and collect stories of real life humans and real life Americans, because I believe if we don't challenge the narrative, we will lose to it. So that's my big announcement. I hope it is as exciting to you as it is to me. I know for you, it's probably like, oh, yay, he got a new motorcycle. So what? I don't care unless you're taking me here for a ride. But my promise to you is this: as we continue to expand not only the quality, but the reach of the content that we produce, we do want to take you for a ride. So come along with us. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day. Subscribe now for our extensive video library of leadership lessons promoting faith, family, and freedom.